All right, so yesterday was the 10th of January, and we started somewhere in here. The market came up, trading the MES on the 2000 tick. Um, and my favorite setup is the impulse leg, pulls back, does its thing. Maybe I screwed up on my whole thing here. Makes a shelf. Get myself together here. Thinking about it. This is why I practice, 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 practice all day. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes you play. So you up, boom, and there it is, right? And you're looking for the price to wipe out the people that are on the shelf, and carry on with the pattern. That's where I'm at, and that's what I do every day. It's all I look for. So when I came to the market the other day, I have my impulse leg, right? This goes down as well. And I start, marking up the chart somewhere around in here. Practice, practice, practice. Right? I've got my sellers lining up. Just do this too. Lining up here. They get popped out. And they retest and they try, right? They try. But they don't follow through. Now, one of the things that I've started paying attention to is the length of the impulse leg is going to have some relativity to the size of the pullback, right? And for all you Fibonacci folks out there, at a minimum, when you're trading Fibonacci, 50% is where you want to be. I know the 382s, you can see these guys got cleaned. The 50% guys came and got them. And if you want to counter trend trade, you could also sell that 382 to the knuckleheads that believe that that's a magic number. But that's a whole different discussion. And I really don't trade Fibonacci, but it is something that that 50% is something that I think about from time to time. And in this scenario, the 50% started, coming off. And so I was watching the market as it was going through these motions. And remember, I don't trade till about 7 o'clock. So all this stuff here happens before I even get into the market. I like to watch the open, the market open rate right about there. And then it goes into this whole thing, and I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I can sell that, make some money, pops it up. And then now I'm, now I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, this isn't following through and going down, right? So what's going on? So then I watch this whole thing, and I love this kind of action right in here. That this here just rips everybody apart, and that makes all these people here who have their stops, because there's a whole bunch of people right there with stops, just get wiped out, and they got to change position. Um, another setup that I've used in the past is I like to take that launch point right there and draw it across and this is kind of another, this is another gap. These guys came back through, blew them out, retest, and then go. This is a simple, easy scalp trade that you can make if you're tuned into it. I, I still struggle with this, and this is something that I know we all as traders have to deal with, is our bias. Here's my impulse leg on the way down. One could argue that you've got a major impulse on the way up as well. And at some point you have to figure out which impulse leg you're going to follow and which impulse leg you're going to ignore. And so I had this impulse in the back of my mind, and I left it out there for me to guide myself as price was coming down. And I, oftentimes, more than likely, price will continue on the path that it's going rather than reverse. And when I talk about a reverse, I'm talking about a major, like these guys here, um, came off here, and they pull back. They're more than likely to keep going down and down and down and down. And even this pullback here really didn't take out anything, maybe this guy here, but it didn't come back into here to take out this stuff. If anything, you've got a big chunk of business up here that people are probably sitting on. So that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about, is prices coming off and coming down. And so I'm like, okay, it's making lower lows. I see it pull back, and I can start to see my shelf formulate up here. This one obviously didn't work, but that one now is starting to make sense, because I also have, my gap right in here. I'm like, oh, okay, this is starting to look like my white, my pop. And then I got a nice little retest on the backside. So I'm pretty stoked on this whole thing. Price has taken out these guys, right? These buyers here now have to reposition themselves, and price doesn't take out the kill zone, but it lands right in the kill zone. And I know from past experience, price will bounce on the kill zone, and the kill zone is just the area, like I've said in other videos, that price will break through or bounce off of, to continue. And with this impulse down, I'm adding this whole thing up. I start to think about what's possible here, and then I do something that I've done in the past, which is make stuff up. So as price is coming off in here, let's just get rid of this crap. I see that we have a retest, right? Price has gone through, retested there, and maybe if I was a little bit tuned in a little bit more, but I see price hitting this level here, and I say to myself, wow, that's stopped and it's kind of in the area. It's got a wash. Nothing's ever perfect, so you have to kind of think about some of that stuff. And then I see this right about here somewhere. Where was I at? I was in here somewhere. I was like right in here. So I put my order to sell. I think I caught this bar right around 8:30, and put my order in here. I get in on that bar, and I put my my risk reward measurement up. So I'm going to risk about 50, call it 50 ticks, $50 for 150 gain. That will put me down under here. I measure what I perceive as the impulse, and then and I think I put my target like somewhere right around the base of this thing in here somewhere. Not a full 3-to-1, but pretty close. Bottom half. I should be okay with that. That's what I was thinking. And as price starts going my way, I tighten up my stop. Price pulls back into me here and takes me out. And I'm like, oh shoot, that was no fun. So I scrap my plans. And remember, I'm only doing 2 or 3 trades a day, so I'm not, I'm not a high volume trader here. I'm looking for the right shot. And then I'm like, this is probably a better idea. I've got the retest, I've got the shelf, and I think this is probably a better idea. So I sit back and wait. Price comes up here. It hits here. And I think it was doing something, so I had to step out. But then it comes off, and I caught it on, I think, in this bar here. Did the same thing, right? Retested that. And then this is more of a traditional trade that I take, right? Now I'm going to do another, I want to be behind these guys here. These guys got wiped out, or these guys cleaned all these guys out. These guys are resetting for lower lows. And it didn't even come back. It took me out, which is frustrating. This business is full of frustration. And I got frustrated. So I stopped. It's 11 o'clock. I don't like trading after 11. But then the thing that just really kind of sunk with me is, like I missed the whole move, like, and I know everybody goes through this, but it's so easy to see. And the hard part about this, is that um, I'm still thinking about this thing. Oh, it's got to work. It's got to work. It doesn't work, right? And you can start massaging it and say, well, geez, let's go to the 60-minute, and this is exactly what I do, because I don't want to be wrong, right? Nobody wants to be wrong. Now let's go to the 60-minute and look at this, and like it's going up. That looks like a top to me. You had all this business in here. You can draw these lines all you want, whatever. It doesn't really help, right? It doesn't really help. You can draw the impulse down from here, and draw your shelf across here, and it should have worked, but it doesn't. So, I live with it and say, okay, that wasn't the idea. Um, and then I also look at the daily chart, because the daily chart gives us another idea of what might be happening. I think that hold on, let me get this straight. Price is stepping down, right? Price is stepping down. We have lower lows are being made over and over and over again, and I I do the same thing everybody else does. Okay, right? Price pulled back, tested, and now it's going up. Should have gone down. That's price, man. That's trading. So we've got to reassess and get ourselves centered so that we're doing the things that we need to do, which means, to me, finding the proper impulse leg, right? Going up. And this is what I do every morning. I just look for this whole thing, and you can see right there, boom, this price here breaks up, gives us, our tells us where it's going. And then we just follow the impulse leg up again and find that shelf. And this one doesn't really fly that well. One of the things I was doing and I might start doing this more, is these breaks here, using these channels to help guide um, my path of price, right? So as you draw a channel, this one breaks out over here. Doesn't follow through, but it just tells you that the market has moved, right? It is. I was playing with this morning. It keeps you in tune with the way the price is going. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's as you are following price, because that's what we're trying to do. It's um, helping us follow the path of price. So use everything that you can use, all the tools that you have. As you want to do Fibonacci, okay, let's look at Fibonacci. It pulled back to the 50% right there. If you bought that 50%, it came down, you have to get under the pivot. You would have been, you would have ultimately started making money. But that's for a different discussion. And I don't think I don't lean on Fibonacci because it just gives me some challenges. So, but what I do lean on is the flow. And as this flow starts changing, I can start to make plans for, what this market's doing. And I don't usually use channels like this all that much, but um, I might start doing it. I might start doing a couple things just so I can get myself a little more, on top of price. Keep me in there. Keep me in the loop. So, with that being said, looks like the market's going up. The MES. Um, just follow that impulse leg, and you'll be all right. All right. Have a good day.